Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 6 of Path of Legends, our Pathfinder 2nd Edition actual play podcast, where we play through select adventure paths, starting with Triumph of the Tusk. Rawr!
Yeah.
So, before we get into all the action and adventure and politics and romance, let's let's talk about anime. I know we have maybe one or two weebs in this show here.
I don't associate with weebs.
You are a weeb. Shut up. What is everyone's favorite anime of all time? Hard mode, no One Piece or Naruto or Dragon Ball.
Is a different level.
I know
it's
some people don't
category.
count this. Some people don't count this as an anime, but I do, and it's Avatar: The Last Airbender for sure.
That's close enough. Abby, what are your thoughts?
Demon Slayer.
Oh,
Fair
really?
enough.
If you can't cast One Piece, then it'd be Demon Slayer.
Abby loves Nezuko.
I love it. Although Fire Force is also a real contender, because I love Maki.
You do. You like strong women.
I do.
Because you're correct. That's called being correct.
Yep.
True.
All right, Dust, let's hear it.
Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is the drill which will pierce the heavens.
Yes. I love it. It's the best old school mech anime.
Oh my god,
And
I cannot believe you
Fuck
just
you,
called
fuck
it
you.
old school.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right, but
yeah.
oh, we're so
it's
old.
It's mid school in that I was in middle school at the time.
Oof.
I didn't watch it until college, so
Gundam is still number one.
If you say so.
Fucking Gundam, fucking G Gundam. Oh.
all right. Well, Tyler, grace us with your opinions, please.
I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of Doki Doki Literature Club.
That's not an anime. That's a video game.
Probably Berserk, 1997.
Okay.
Yeah.
My love for you is like a truck.
Berserker. Would you like to make some fun? And then probably part 2 of part 1 and 2 of JoJo. I know it's not people's favorite, but
I mean, part 2 is my
put
favorite.
respect on Jonathan.
I think I prefer the Hammond stuff way much more than Stan shit. I do not like Stans. I don't.
I do not like you, Stand I Am.
He wants that crimson red overdrive.
Sunraito yellow overdrive.
So good. And then the third runner up, just because it didn't age very well. Fist of the North Star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all that Omewa Moshinderu.
Yeah. You watch it now, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's a product of its time. Back in the 80s, everyone, well, I say everyone, it was very popular in Japan, like American action movies, like gritty action movies like Rambo and,
Oh, yeah.
you know, anything with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. So that was kind of a big influence on stuff like that. And that's sort of where JoJo came from, it was sort of playing on that sort of Fist of the North style, big macho man like style of the time. That. And then Araki was like, actually, I'm going to make this about men's fashion.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
He got into fashion and stuff.
But why male models?
And then he stuck to drawing.
Well, to be fair,
face.
his big bad is literally Anne Rice's Lestat. So,
yeah, whatever that means.
damn.
I just like all the classic rock references.
Oh
They're
yeah.
fun. I can't.
I was literally telling Fern about that, and I was like, "This has a bunch of classic rock references," and then Robert E.O. Speedwagon shows up.
I know, it's so on the nose.
Like,
I'll be the roundabout.
Not only does he show up, but he instantly becomes one of the most important characters in the entire series.
Hello, I'm Mr. Classic Rock Reference. I'm going to be with you forever now.
but do you think in the next season now that it's official, are they gonna keep the president's stand name?
You know it's
Or do
going to
you-
be some fake
Do you think it's
ass
gonna
piece
go with
of
the
shit.
game?
I don't know.
What was it?
Who
Something
produces the anime?
Oh, fuck, Netflix.
Yeah, I think Netflix has their
Netflix?
grubby
Yeah.
fingers on it now. Well, they
Oh,
distribute
no.
it in the West. I don't think
Yeah.
they actually produce it. I think they just like to tell people that they produce it. That's what they did with Part 6. They just kind of like they messed it up. I don't like Netflix. I haven't liked Netflix in a
There we
very
go.
long time.
Filthy acts at reasonable prices.
My favorite thing about Netflix is they're like, hey, there's a good show that people are really interested in. Cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to make more original series that suck ass.
Or they're like, we'll keep it around
Ooh.
and just destroy it. One or the other.
Yeah.
I like this localization for it. Dimes for the crimes.
It at least rhymes.
Yeah.
Rhymes for dimes. Not that anyone asked, but my favorite anime is actually Food Wars.
Okay.
I know it gets really cheesy later on and the plot kind of runs away from it, but like the first couple seasons of Food Wars is just incredible to me. That show is actually what got me to love cooking. Like, cause that was back when I was in college or like right after college, I think. And I was like struggling to find the motivation to cook for myself. I'm like, this sucks. I hate it. It takes so much effort. But then I saw as soon as I saw Soma tie the the ribbon around his head, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. I gotta level up my game. I'm never gonna graduate from the academy at this rate.
What was the one anime that the Metal Alchemist guy made that's about cooking and like farming as well?
I've heard of it, but I don't remember the name. And by guy, she's a woman.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say Hiromu Arakawa.
Yeah. Yeah, turns out it's not just men that make anime and manga.
That's crazy. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
It's
Mostly,
it's
but
almost like women are really fucked up and dark.
This is a man's world.
I wonder why.
Probably just
wonder.
good old fashioned patriarchy, probably, and
Japan.
yeah. And
Japan.
also it's just like so much of the manga and anime industry is focused really heavily on shonen series. So like it kind of comes off as like a young boys thing.
It's like Soldier Boys from a young age. Like,
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, it's
for liking anime.
Soulja
as a
Boys.
girl.
Oh gosh, I'm a 12-year-old boy apparently.
Well, no, I mean there is a lot of like, stuff that appeals to women, and also like, it doesn't have a gender. Anyone can like anything they want, but I think it just the way it's advertised and marketed and just the way that ends up it being perceived makes it seem like it's mostly by and for men, even though that's not entirely
it's
true.
called shonen.
Yeah, which
the word
literally means
shonen-
young man.
Yeah.
But there are other like types of anime as well. It's just they're not as popular, like shoujo and seinen, and I forget the name for anime that's for adult women. But no, seinen is just for adults in general. There's like an entirely separate term for anime that's specifically targeted to adult women. But anyway, yeah,
Kind
anime.
of random, but on the anime, you reminded me with the food thing. Delicious in Dungeon. I'm enjoying.
Oh yeah, that's a real good one.
It's adorable.
The English dub of that is actually pretty good too.
It was German dub.
I'm bad with names. What's the bearded guy?
Senshi, the dwarf.
Senshi. I love him. He's so cute. He's so baby girl.
He is a creature. Yeah, so I'm excited for the next season of that. Also, speaking of Studio Trigger, we recently watched Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which was awesome.
Baby Edge.
Nice.
Yeah, so, and that
Wait,
actually...
It just struck me that Delicious in Dungeon is Studio Trigger. That's why it's so good.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That also got me playing Cyberpunk 2077, which has been pretty good so far.
Nice.
And I want to play the tabletop game at some point. I keep trying to pressure Tyler into running it for us.
It's gonna be something. I keep looking more into it, and I'm like, oh, no wonder this didn't blow up. You gotta do chores.
Yeah, GMing is hard, isn't it?
No, I mean, you as a player have to pay rent and do chores.
I can do that. That's fine. What do I gotta roll?
Go to work. Do your part-time job, wagey.
All right. So why don't we go ahead and dive into the adventure? I'm tired of recapping. One of y'all do it.
Oh.
Roll that dice.
Yeah, don't all volunteer at once. I'm gonna have to roll a
remember how we
d4.
ended the episode. I'm bad at how we messed up some teeth fairies.
Yeah.
I know that.
You did
I don't
do
remember
that.
what we started with. Was
That's
that the
not
whole
where
episode?
we started, though.
No.
Bears.
You started last session. You started by returning to camp after defeating the Peritons, who were assaulting the scouts and hunting parties from the camp, and then you engaged in some entertainment activities.
Oh yeah.
Danced on some poles.
Nope.
Oh
no.
Danced.
We did not do that. I tried to lift an axe.
It was a dumbbell.
You didn't try. You did it.
A dumbbell. That's what it was. Something heavy. You're asking me to remember things,
I did it.
And
I succeeded.
You know, there is a way that you can keep track of things that have happened without keeping it in your memory. Like you can write
it down,
ideas to paper and or digital equivalents.
I don't usually need to know these things. It's in the past. We've done them. I've moved on. I'm ready for the next thing.
I committed feats of strength.
Yes, indeed. You all tried to lift a weighted dumbbell that was sort of a trick item. Makiwa was the one who eventually managed it, I believe. You also had a exchange of insults. You had a roasting competition, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
I did that.
That was interesting.
That's something.
My character was doing great. I was doing shit.
Yes, Trizhalyn did great, but Abby was not so quick on the draw.
I'm not good at quick insults.
After that, the camp was invaded by some zombie bears.
Oh yeah, the bears.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I single-handedly took down 2 of them by myself.
Oh yeah, the bears were like nothing. We helped other people in the camp. We destroyed them. It was
you had no trouble with the bears.
I think I hit one with like 40 points in one hit or something like that.
You got some good hits.
You got like a nat 20, like two in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the next day, you arose to find that some orcs were complaining that their teeth were missing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the 2 fairies were way worse. I don't like swarms. Yeah, swarms are fucking
teeth plaque
garbage.
Stuck with me.
That's why I took an area of a effect.
Remember to wash your block.
So that is where we left off. You fought and killed 2 separate tribes of tooth fairies who were not friendly against each other.
The first one were easy. It's the second ones that came along and we were like, oh, fuck you. Like, come on.
Oh, and if I recall correctly, the leader escaped. Or one of them escaped the fairy before we killed it.
Yes, and I think one of the other swarms also flew off.
Fucking Faye.
I don't like survivors.
However, you were able to drive them away and kill some of them. They exploded into stinking plaque.
All over Duroc.
All over Duroc.
Times.
Just covered in mouth dust.
Yeah, Duroc, did you bathe, I hope, before we could take off? That's a request from Sayuri.
I dribbled some water on me.
That's as close as we're getting with an orc.
So one thing I forgot to mention from that is your reward for doing that.
Shit, I love some
and
rewards.
I assume you would have searched the fairy lairs to locate any potential loot that they may have accrued. All in all, you find a total of 32 gold pieces worth of gold fillings, bits of jewelry, and fancy teeth that have like gems set in them, that kind of thing. And you also find an alchemical item.
Oh.
Fuck is that?
Ooh.
I'm gonna eat it.
Kind of alchemical item. Can I throw it?
I mean, you want to break it, see what happens when you throw it, and then it'll be gone forever.
Oh no, okay, not a throwing.
But you can use crafting to attempt to identify it.
Yes, I will do that.
16, that may be enough. Okay, so 16 is actually exactly enough. You identify this as an infiltrator's elixir. It is an elixir, which means it's a consumable item like a potion. The description says, favored by spies and tricksters, an infiltrator's elixir is used to alter your appearance. When imbibed, you take the shape of a humanoid creature of your size, but different enough so that you might be unrecognizable. The creator of the elixir decides the basics of the appearance you transform into when you imbibe the elixir, including eye color, skin tone, and hair color. The elixir can't change your form into that of a specific person, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay, that'll be good to keep in case we need it.
Yeah, it's like an alter self spell in a potion, so I will add that to your stash.
I was hoping it was a bomb.
No, it is an elixir. Elixir. I don't even know her. So, a couple days pass after this incident with no issues, though you notice that the air is beginning to cool, and you hear mutterings around the camp amongst the orcs that they believe that the deluge is imminent.
Mutter, deluge, mutter.
Yeah. You hear that aurochs sightings have been more common, and a variety of bird species that haven't been seen in the area before start to appear. As you are resting, relaxing, doing whatever you want to do, you receive word from one of Ardax's messengers. Apparently, he wants to meet with you all. What would you like to do?
Messenger?
Yeah.
Ardax? A messenger from Ardax, or a messenger as in...
As an MSN messenger.
Is he messaging us?
He wants to meet with you. He sent this guy to tell you, hey, come here.
No.
Okay, goodbye. You go home and you make a different character to go on this adventure.
Nah.
I was like, whoa. Don't listen to him. Did Ardax, can we ask the messenger? Like, did Ardax say what he needs?
Messenger just says, he just wants to meet with you all. He's heard a lot about your exploits and wants to really get a formal meeting.
Could have came himself, but we know where his tent is.
Yeah, you've been there before.
A few times, so I guess we'll head on over.
You trudge on over to Ardax's tent in the middle of the northern side of camp. You've been here before. You're pretty
covered in plastic.
Confident. Yeah, just covered in
just fucking disgusting area. I don't know why he stays in this tent.
Yeah, we're only like a few steps away while we're fighting the fairies.
Yeah, so in fact, why don't you guys go ahead and move yourselves into his tent? I think you gotta move right.
It's hard.
We can't get in.
Let me in.
Oh, the door wasn't open.
It is open. I just don't know how they set the walls on here. Okay. You're just throwing yourselves at the side of his tent, like, let me in! Let me in!
We're all in a pile, like, scuffling, like, together, like, we're trying to get, like, fell through the door into his tent. Like,
Sayuri just, like, crawls underneath the canvas of the tent, like a fucking badger.
Like at the airport.
Okay, you see Ardax the Whitehair standing at a table where piles of arrowheads, feathers, twine, and straight arrow shafts are heaped. Another orc, one of the guards, drops off a square of wax, nods, and walks away. Ardax smiles grimly and speaks. Thank you for taking the time to come. I hope you don't mind if I do a little work as I talk. Making arrows is second nature to me, and I find it helps me relax. So, you see him pick up some materials and starts fletching some arrows.
Can any of us, like, I don't know, I guess watching him do it wouldn't gain anything.
Or can we join him?
You're welcome to join if you like.
Yeah. And let's offer to help out.
In fact, he says, go right ahead. There's always plenty of work for skilled hands.
Heck yeah. Let's make
so you can make a crafting or survival check to fletch arrows.
Who knows?
Anyone else?
Yeah. Survival?
Give it a shot.
Yeah, crafting or survival, whichever is better for you.
It can't hurt.
My little alchemist hands, good at helping with craft.
My wisdom.
18. My spider hands.
Abby, do you want to help or do you want to just watch?
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. Crafting makes. Why would survival be an option?
Because perhaps making arrows is a survival-based skill, would help you in the wilderness. Okay, so all of you succeeded. So you will each gain a +1 circumstance bonus to influence Ardax during this meeting.
Oh, heck yeah.
Nice.
Good idea.
As you all are just sort of sitting around in a circle, making arrows, sharpening arrowheads, tying them to shafts and tying feathers to them, he says, I've heard a lot about your deeds around Torrent, and I must say, I am quite impressed. And he looks at each of you in turn. He says, Sayuri, your efforts in clearing out the tooth fairies have not gone unnoticed. It may seem like a trivial matter, but we orcs take our tusks very seriously, and these miscreants who were pilfering them from us, well, that was a situation I couldn't allow to continue, so I am very grateful that you were so instrumental in their defeat. Durak.
I'm just nodding like, yeah, no problem.
Durak, you seem to be very popular with the children of the camp. I hear you were, you got along well with the children that you rescued, who went astray in the barrows beneath the plains. Additionally, I know of no one else who would punch a zombie bear in the face and walk away to tell the tale.
Well, the children are the future of our people.
Indeed.
We have to set an example for the fights ahead.
Yes, indeed.
Just show the children how to punch people in the head. That's sorry.
He turns to look at you, Trizhalyn. He says,
I
Trizhalyn,
did not say that in character.
Well, he looks at you anyway, and he says, your performances around the camp have been heard and appreciated. I appreciate all the old orc songs that you have played, and I'm curious to know where you learned them.
Well, when my father and mother met before I was born, obviously. Sorry. When my father and mother met, my father was also a bard, and he taught my mother many of the songs of his people in their brief time that they had together. And my mother passed those along to me because she knew they would be important to me one day for knowing my own ancestry.
He nods and he says, I knew you were a Dromar, and I just want to say that there is no percentage of orc blood which is too much or too little in my regard. Every Dromar is as important to me as every orc, and I think it's about time we acknowledged but did not let these differences keep us back from uniting as a people.
Hear, hear.
And he turns to Makiwa and he says, Makiwa, I appreciate your traveling here from the Mwangi Expanse. I admit it is a great distance to travel, and I appreciate your sacrifice to be here. Your deeds alongside the rest of your comrades have not gone unnoticed, though you yourself are quite adept at going unnoticed. And he sort of laughs to himself at that. And he laughs. He thinks you're making a joke. Says, good one, Durak.
Yeah. What?
It's a great honor to my people that we were invited, and I'm glad that I can make a good impression on their behalf.
He says, yes, indeed. It is important not only that the residents of Belkzen are represented here, but also interests of our neighbors, near and distant. It is important going forward that we establish relations of trade, of alliances, these sort of things that will help us prosper in darker times. He sets aside a stack of arrows that he has finished and continues. As important as these accomplishments are, those aren't the only reasons you're here. You see, there are plenty out there, and he nods generally at the outside world, who will never see Belkzen as more than a dangerous land full of cruel orcs. He chuckles, even if they sometimes have a point. But you're here because you see more than that. Maybe you think we'll be a good buffer to the Whispering Tyrant, that we just have a bad reputation, or that we're potential allies. Whatever the case, you have the right mindset for building a relationship with us, or at least that is my hope. Whatever my personal hopes to shape Belkzen are, It's always going to be a place where strength and might are needed to survive. But I don't want it to ever again become a pawn like it was for Tar-Baphon, he says, his voice gaining an edge of fervor. He visibly calms himself and continues. As much as it may make the Hold leaders shout, this isn't a task we can hope to do while turning away the outside world. So tell me, what's your advice for building relationships between the Hold of Belkzen and our neighbors?
What is our neighbors?
That's actually a good question. I'm not an expert on Galarian. Let me pull up. There's a map at the beginning of the book. So Ustalav is to the east. Sarkoris. Yeah. Sarkoris and all the places from Wrath of the Righteous. Those are Mendev are up to the northeast.
That's very far, I think, right?
Not really. It's just like the neighbors to the northeast. Like the World Wound is directly northeast of here, and then Mendev is on the other side of it. Yeah, directly to the east there's Ustalav, Numeria. Numeria is sort of the like technological area.
So if you look up the map, they give you a 3D rendered Earth image of Galeria.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, on the Pathfinder wiki there is a like a Google Earth.
Where are we? Belkzen. Oh, okay. So yeah. Uslav's story. Those are the people that signed off with the Whispering Tyrant, or got taken over.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Or is that what the Gravelands became?
Probably. That sounds like it. I think Ustalav is like the sort of like Eastern European areas. To the west, you have the Quaz of the Shoanti people. And then to the north, you have the realm of the Mammoth Lords, where a lot of barbarians come from. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, to the southeast, there's the Lake and Carthan and a ton of different kingdoms and other lands. So,
Chiliacs. I don't miss learning about Chiliacs.
Yeah, they're like the lawful evil kingdom, I think.
Yeah. Oh my god. Just bring me back to the 10-hour lore video I listened to at work about humans.
Oh, here she comes.
Human kingdoms. There's too many humans in this world. We need to do something about that.
Whoa now. But yeah, so
she comes.
All sorts of different peoples nearby.
What was his question again?
His question is, what is your opinions on building relationships between Belkzen and the neighbors?
I was going to suggest if they've tried trade. Have they tried trading?
Yeah, of course. We have tried initiating trade, though many places view us as, primitive, uneducated places with little to trade except for raw natural materials, which they believe is all our tiny orc brains can comprehend.
I say I have little interactions with our neighbors, other than the Kalids up north. Kalids? Is it Kalids or Kalids?
Kalids, I think.
We can work something out with them. They have our same set of mind. We could almost go into the same line of business. Mercenaries.
Should we just go talk to them?
That's a long voyage.
About them. They're not very talkative.
I live with Tanuki. That's nothing. We wander.
They're men of strength. Men of honor. From what I've known. I think they'd accept us with open arms as long as we prove ourselves.
Fair enough.
And maybe they can be an open door. A lot of nations trust the strength of the Mountain Lords, or the Mammoth Lords.
Indeed.
And if the Mammoth Lords trust us, other nations will trust us and see us maybe more than just small rabble and a force to be accepted.
Perhaps. Force is always something that we have aplenty, something that we can rely on, but if possible, I'd like to be seen as something other than just, strong arms and willing swords.
Do you have anything of, craftsmanship to give as a gift when something like that to kind of?
Says there are craftsmen all across Belkzen, though as of late they have mostly been crafting military accoutrement, weapons, armor, that sort of thing. So you all have a lengthy discussion with Ardax about politics.
All right.
Additionally,
I think we should take the AI out of government.
that's a topic of a different discussion. So, as you finish your talk, Ardax says, it was very refreshing speaking to you all. Do you all have a group name? Is there a name for your little organization? I don't know if you have any particular official affiliation or not.
We never really talked about it. I guess
The
we just
Fist
kind
of
of
the
started
Small.
doing stuff together. I
No
turned
matter.
to my teammates and I whispered to them, should we name ourselves, guy? Like, should we name ourselves? Is that something we're supposed to do?
I say the Fist of the Small.
The what?
Fist of the Small.
Fist of the Small.
What? Why? Why?
You did what
why
to the
fist of
small?
You're not small, Tyler.
But I have a fist, and I am the fist of y'all. The small.
Oh wow,
Rock is
Tyler's
our fist.
Tyler's trying to do the Josie and the Pussycats thing, where he's the fist and we're just the smalls.
Fist of the Smalls.
We're just the Smalls. That's hilarious. So Durat will for now be known
I'm
as
not
Fist
even
of the
small.
Smalls.
You're smaller than
Not
me.
even
That's so rude.
I mean, everyone is.
You might as well name us Orc and the Orklets or some shit. Fucking Durak and his bitches.
Hey, I was just thinking on the spot. I don't have a lot of intelligence here, nor charisma to finagle a thing out of me.
Panungolin?
Ardax just watches your banter and laughs. He says, "It is no concern. I merely an innocent question." He says, "Though I do have a gift for you all for your deeds here in Tornmoot." And he reaches into a chest in his tent, and he pulls out a warhammer and sets it on the table in the center of his tent.
You Warhammer?
Yeah, it's the warhammer that weighs 40,000 pounds.
Wish I lift it.
No, he tells you this warhammer has been imbued with some powerful runes, which may be of use to you if any of you are using melee weapons. Though, if not, feel free to sell it or transfer the runes. I don't mind. Just take this as a sign of my appreciation.
Thanks, Ardax.
Is it a orc build? Is there any significance behind it?
There, as far as you know, there is no particular significance to the crafting of it. It's just a really good quality weapon, and he said there are some runes on it, some magical runes, so...
Block those out.
Yeah, what kind of rune?
It is a +1 striking warhammer.
Oh, give me that striking.
So it is has a +1 weapon potency rune and a striking rune.
Oh.
The +1, if no one else has a lot of weapons, I could take the +1 for my crossbow eventually.
Yeah, so the striking rune is like one of the best, most essential runes for weapons after the potency rune. It increases the number of damage die that your weapon deals.
Yeah, Durak, you have some kind. What your weapon?
His fists are his weapon. My friends are my
Your
power.
fist. So you can't put that on
I
your
can.
fist.
I have wraps around my hands that can put I can put runes into. Which
Yeah, you
can
got
ruin
your
fist.
hand wraps of mighty
Yeah.
blows.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I can hit for 2d8 or something like that.
Oh heck yeah! So do we still need to wait for a blacksmith to put them
Yeah.
on, even if we have the runes? Yes, to like
Yeah.
attach them.
Yeah.
For now, it's a throwing hammer.
Yeah, I definitely can't lift that and use that. That's probably a little big.
So yeah, that warhammer alone is worth 100 gold.
Probably because of the rune in it.
Yes, and is entirely because of the runes.
I think the rune is 75 gold.
Yeah, a +1 striking weapon is worth 100 gold.
100.
Nice.
Okay, so answer that. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Ardax. That's very kind of you.
grab it with our grubby hands. All of us just like
Everyone's like, oh, money, 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 money.
Shove it in our stash. Yeah, we're looking at the runes like pretty.
That is all Ardax wanted to say. If there's anything else you want to say to him, you can do that now, or if not, we can move on.
Do you know of any blacksmiths in the area, bro?
So
casual.
I don't think there are any smiths at the camp.
Yeah, and not within a walk, not within a reasonable
No,
quick walk
you'd have
distance
to.
either.
You'd have to find a town or something.
Okay.
The closest settlement, I think, would be Urgir, which is a major city, and that's
his city, right?
Yeah, that's the capital of Belkzen. So it's a ways away. Ways.
On the Blood Road. It's actually not that long. It's just down the street.
It's just down the street where
Every day when
Cornmeal.
you're walking down the street,
It's like a quarter of
all the orcs
country.
you like to meet have an original point of view.
I
Okay.
don't know if these
Okay,
countries
hey.
are like.
Hey, should look up the ska version of that.
I will. I definitely will.
Over the next few days, you're starting to feel a definite chill in the air. It isn't long at all before everyone is bristling with excitement in the camp, and a few days later, everyone in the camp has gathered around the main fire pit. There's an air of excitement and expectation in the crowd, enthusiastic chatter about the deluge and the life it brings on everyone's lips. Devor's explanation of migratory cycles abruptly stops when Ardax steps onto a log bench, the crowd respectfully falling silent. The white-haired orc gestures broadly to encompass everyone there. "Friends," he says. "I can call you that, I think, after our time together. It has truly been a pleasure to be here with you. We faced challenges I did not expect, but that is the nature of Belkzen. The hardships, the pain, the threat of death, these are all ever present. But so too are the joys of testing your strength, of solving challenges and overcoming them with the tools you have at hand. These experiences have shaped us into survivors, able to face anything, and soon you'll witness another of Belkzen's wonders. The deluge is nearly upon us." Everyone cheers in the crowd. Woo! Woo! "I have chosen a place to overlook the spectacle where we won't be in danger of getting washed away. The journey is only a couple of hours, and we'll leave at midday. We shall return after nightfall. You have a little bit of time to gather any supplies that you might want to bring on this trip. Going to be at least all day, and who knows what may happen on the road. So, anything y'all want to do before you head out?
I'm gonna empty my walking cauldron of acid and just fill it with water, which doesn't matter to have, but like drinkable water. Like I boil it then, like it's drinkable.
Okay, potable water.
Yeah.
Man, you just dumping oil anywhere you want. Just
Dumping
dumping
oil.
acid.
It was acid. Yeah, it was acid. Actually,
just dumping it.
I must be
Just
terrible
people
for
that-
the seasoning.
I don't think I can just bottle bug acid I pulled off of something. I don't think
You get
that's
a
how my
fine
alchemy
now.
works. That would be cool. Right? I can't stick it in a bottle. That's not how that works.
I mean, you could, but it wouldn't really do anything.
Can it be, it won't just I can't somehow make an acid flask because I had acid.
I mean, you do make acid flasks.
I would say
Just
you
not out of that
could
acid.
use that in place of the material components for an acid flask, so you wouldn't have to pay the material cost for like the lowest level of acid flask.
But it would have needed the formula, which is too expensive. So it doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna dump it in a safe, responsible area, or
Recyclable
I'm just
area.
gonna give it to Ardax. I'm gonna gift it to Ardax, and he can do with
He
it as
says,
he needs.
"Oh boy, my favorite, yummy, yummy," and he drinks the whole
acid.
thing.
He drinks. Damn.
He says,
That's a war chief.
sour.
I'm glad he enjoyed it.
Anybody else?
I'm feeling pretty
Hi,
good.
bud.
I assume we're gonna be staying there, so should I pick up our tent? Like, is that
You'll be going there and then coming back is the idea.
okay? I mean,
It's a day trip.
do we need food? Do I need to collect berries and stuff from the area?
Couldn't hurt to have some trail rations or a picnic lunch. A picnic
can
basket?
I collect things from the area around me?
Sure. You don't have to roll for that. I'll let you forage for some berries or mushrooms or whatever you like. Everyone likes mushrooms.
And can we make sure that they're not poison mushrooms? We're going to clarify that
fine.
they're specifically non-poison. They are edible mushrooms.
Yes.
I only eat poison mushrooms, alright?
You find some porcini mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't want to trip the entire walk there.
Or maybe you do.
Maybe we do. Yeah, maybe we do.
Funny.
Okay.
All right. Got water, got mushrooms. I think I'm ready with a snack. We're good.
Eventually, at midday, you all set out. The entire camp is excitedly traveling to the overlook spot that Ardax has picked out. As you travel, you see that Heen Bonesnap, the hunter who led you all on your aurochs hunt, she is leading the way. Throughout the trip, you see Ardax moving around different parts of the convoy here, visiting with dignitaries and answering questions. At the start of the hike, you notice that the terrain is sloping gently upward, but then after about an hour, the terrain becomes much steeper. It seems Ardax chose a route that would be easy for a large group to navigate, however, and even the steep terrain is not hard to traverse. And you notice that he and his guards are assisting anyone who needs it. You see Devore is excitedly surveying the terrain and jots down notes every few minutes in his journal. Grothlin continues to boast to anyone who listens, and Kestrel is chatting pleasantly with other attendees, her accompanying knights following behind, fully armed and armored as if expecting battle. Is there anything you all would like to do or say along the way?
Yeah.
I'd probably survey and scout. Probably.
Okay.
Help with that.
As you're scouting, you come up alongside Heen Bonesnap, and she says, "Thanks for lending a hand. Been a minute since we talked. Hope you're still doing well."
Yeah. Just climbing the rocks or the terrain. Just trying to get a look at this area. Haven't been this way before.
She says, "Yeah, we went a different direction on our hunt a while back. You guys have been getting quite the name for yourselves around the camp. The children are even calling you heroes. Not that I put too much stock into that, but..."
Children. Look up to anything that's strong.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that strength plays out. Okay, you want to sing a marching song?
We are marching, marching, marching.
Rock is down for a song.
The roll up.
Sure. Okay, that's a 20 total. You put on a rousing performance that invigorates everyone and keeps up the morale. Everyone is...
Go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. And go marching 2 by 2, hurrah. Don't know what the next line is, so I'ma just...
The rock will thumb pointing that way. Like, that's the real hero among us.
And Sayuri's dancing with my dancing towel, swinging it around, all excited.
Just putting on a whole show.
Marching around in circles. I have a compass if that helps us get anywhere better.
Sure.
I think he knows where he's going.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are just following Ardax and his...
I check it, I make sure, I see that Ardax got us, and then I'm like, maybe I hand out berries. Or not berries, I got mushrooms. Maybe I hand out mushrooms.
Okay.
Who do I... You said Devore is here?
Yeah, he's writing down notes about the environment.
I feel like I should ask Devore something, but I'm not sure what, because he knows things. Can I just ask Devore, do you know about, I don't really know much about these people and stuff, so just ask Devore what he knows about the place we're going?
He says, well, I haven't been there myself, but from what Ardax says, it should be a pretty nice view. We'll be able to look down on the entire flood road and see the deluge roll by. If you haven't seen it before, it's a real treat. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
And we shouldn't expect any... You don't know any kind of, expectations of specific danger we might hit on the way? It's a pretty safe route.
Well, don't piss off any aurochs, I guess.
I'm not planning on it. I'm a little too small to be going pissing them off.
He's like, you sure? I've seen you lift a whole axe over your head once.
Yeah, that was luck. That was luck. That was funny though.
He says, "No, I'm not worried."
I just offer him a mushroom.
He says, "Thanks. This is one of my favorite kinds of mushrooms."
The mushroom variety.
Yeah, me too. So we're just chilling.
Nice.
I mean, mushrooms are pretty good, but have you ever had just like a really good bug?
A bug?
A butt?
A butt? I thought I heard butt.
A bug?
Right, because you're a gecko.
Yeah, have you ever just had a really good
Abby's
mealworm?
gonna go touch the butt.
I haven't had a good mealworm. I would be interested in trying.
That's lizard food.
Fat, juicy mealworm.
I would try it. Maybe grilled up, put in a stir fry.
I like to just lick them off the ground.
Yeah. That doesn't seem super appetizing to me, though.
Blam.
Blam.
All those lizard skittles.
I feel like that's lizard code, but like if you're like a lizard folk, you resent people thinking you do that, but secretly you do that anyway. It's like your guilty pleasure.
just letting your lizard brain take over.
Ground.
We don't eat shit off the ground. Bam.
Aren't
that wasn't
lizard
what that
folk,
was.
like super tribal?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, all the women go and collect all the bugs, and then they put them in the center in one big bowl, and they just all eat it out of the bowl.
Like popcorn.
Like popcorn.
I was looking at the art. They're like Aztec looking almost.
It's pretty cool.
Well, yeah. I don't know if that's official or anything.
Okay, so you guys have
I gave for my character.
You guys have some delightful conversations as you make the hike up to the vantage point, which Ardax has picked out. After a couple hours, you reach there, and as the sun is starting to wane in the horizon, not quite setting, but definitely late afternoon, the rocky promontory you arrive at provides a spectacular view of the lands to the north and west. Most of what's visible are rocky hills and plains, and a few flat-topped mesas dot the landscapes. In the immediate area, the terrain is barren and dry, with small bushes and trees clinging to life along the cliff face below, as well as in small clusters throughout the plain. Far away to the north are snow-capped mountains. The sky is filled with dark and roiling clouds, although no rain falls from them. The ever-present winds from the north are strong and carry the scent of water as herds of aurochs graze contentedly in the distance. So, from where you're standing, you are about half a mile from the flood road, horizontally speaking, and are about 150 feet above the water level, for lack of a better word. It's clear that the floodwaters will present no danger to you from up here.
Nice.
Ardax kind of waves around and he says, get comfortable. Make yourselves at home. I'm sure the deluge will be coming any minute now. You see,
I'm going to find myself a good rock to sit on before anyone gets in front of me, because I'm short.
I'm going to punch a hole in the ground.
Okay, well, you see that this area of the overlook has already been set up as a temporary camp by the staff. You see numerous stumps and rough benches placed near the edge of the mesa to create excellent views. No one knows exactly when the deluge will arrive, but everyone seems to be confident that it will be sometime today.
Heck yeah, I scramble up the comfiest, tallest spot I could find.
All right.
Yeah, Makiwa would take a seat on one of the stumps, and he's got a notebook out. He's ready to write down everything that he's experiencing about all this.
Great.
I'm gonna find a nice warm boulder.
That's not just a boulder.
I don't like the sound of rolling.
Yeah, I was rolling. I have my armored cloak I'm gonna get comfy with as well, just to help.
Okay.
Why not? Ooh, maybe I should get fur. I'm sitting there thinking about getting fur lined in my armored cloak to make it cozier.
As you are sitting and admiring the view, there's a chill wind in the air. And even though this is like early to mid-spring, getting on towards summer, it's quite cold. And it sends an unusual chill up your spines. Each of you can sort of sense that there seems to be something amiss in the area. And after a little while of noticing, there seems to be no animals, not even birds nearby. It's sort of unusually quiet, except for the wind.
Must have been the wind.
Can I become stealthy and hide behind what I'm sitting on?
Actually, Sayuri, you don't notice anything. You are just having a grand old time.
In my cloak, like, woo!
Makiwa, you specifically, you feel a terrible sense of foreboding, as if you are certain that something awful is about to happen. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to initiative rolls for the rest of the day.
Oh, nice indeed.
You'll have to remember that because I don't know how to put bespoke effects. Okay, so what do you all do?
I don't know. You said
Apparently,
my name.
I just sit there.
Yeah, Duroc and Trizhalyn, you each feel uncomfortable but are unable to place why. And Makiwa is the one who has this, like, deliberate, concrete premonition.
Yep.
Nobody else around you seems to be aware.
Makiwa just kind of lets everyone know to stay on their guard. He doesn't feel very good about something, but he can't tell what. He is a psychic, so.
Mm-hmm.
Are we in explorer mode?
Yes, you are in exploration mode.
So, what's the one that gives you a circumstance bonus to initiative? Is it scouting or is it...
It is scouting.
I'm going to survey and scout the area around.
Okay.
Based on my feeling.
Now that I'm aware, I'm gonna sneakily hide behind the thing that I'm on.
Okay. Do you share your feelings with anyone else, or do you just keep it in the party?
I mean, I guess I suggest we tell Ardak.
Okay. What do you
I
say?
don't know what the rest of the party thinks.
I'm fine with that. It's reasonable enough.
I just
that
sneak
Ardax
over
should
to
be
Ardax
made
stealthily,
aware.
and I whisper to him that, hey, Makiwa had, like, a weird, like, foreboding that something, and, like, the animals are all quiet and everything's gone. So I think something's gonna be up. You might want to be on guard.
And he listens intently to you and nods. He says, I've been feeling like something is wrong too. Like the air is stale or my chest is being squeezed. I'm glad to know it isn't just me, although I wish it were just in my head. He frowns and gazes across the landscape. I don't want the people here to succumb to some nameless fear, but I don't want to just ignore this. What do you all suggest we do?
Should we tell Heen and get a bit of a party together to, like, look around? Or, like, should we just stay on guard and hope everything's fine?
He nods and he says it would be a good idea to inform the scouts just to be on the lookout.
All right. Does he want me to do that for Ardax? Do you want me to sneak around and tell the scouts for you?
Well, Duroc that's what Duroc was, I think, going to do, was to go scout, so you can share that information with Heen and her hunters.
All right. So I go over to Heen and I think, I let them know that Ardax told us to be on alert because there's something going on and the animals are unhappy. So to keep alert and protect the people.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ardax says, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I feel like I can really trust you all. And he pulls something out of a nearby cart. He says, I want you to have this. The bag as well as what's inside. And he hands this cloth bag to whoever will accept it. And
sure.
And he says identifies it to you as a Type 1 spacious pouch.
Ooh.
Oh.
Also known historically as a bag of holding.
Yay! A bag of holding!
Better see if there's something inside of it.
Yeah.
What's in it?
Yeah, you reach in and pull out a potion, which he tells you is a potion of water breathing.
Cool.
Tell us if it starts whispering to you.
The potion?
No, the bag.
Oh.
Who wants to carry the spacious pouch?
I was gonna say, does anyone need to carry stuff specifically? Like,
I think only you need to, right? You
I'm
have,
pretty
like,
good for
ammunition.
now on the hefty hauler, but I do need to carry stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm okay for now.
A spacious pouch has one bulk of weight, but it can carry up to 25 bulk of weight inside it completely weightlessly.
I mean, yeah, I'll take it for now then, and then I can always give it to somebody else if they get bulked.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you can. For those who are not familiar with classic D&D stuff, a bag of holding, or in Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remaster, is called a spacious pouch. Is a bag that is, to put it simply, bigger on the inside. It essentially has an extra dimensional space inside of it, which can hold up to various amounts of material depending on the size of the bag. The lowest level one, which you have now, is a Type 1, which can hold up to 25 bulk in its extra dimensional space, which does not increase the weight of the pouch. So it's effectively like a extra dimensional book bag.
It's kind of like in Halloween Town, Grandma Aggie's bag.
Yeah.
So can you do the thing in this, the Pathfinder?
What specific thing?
Putting a bag of holding in a bag of holding?
No.
And causing a nuclear explosion or whatever?
I don't think that's still in this.
Okay. Fucking paradox.
Accessing things that are into it, does that take, does that take an action to take
it is,
things
yeah,
out?
It is an interact action, just like if you had it stowed about your person normally.
Cool. So it's not like an extra special.
Yeah. There you go. I have it on your sheet, and you have the potion of water breathing on there as well, which pretty much does what it says on the 10. It gives you water breathing for 1 hour.
So then, quick question. If we are in a scenario, we obviously can't take things from the stash, like if we're in a fight.
Right.
But I can take things from my spacious pouch.
Yes. In fact,
so
if you want to put the stuff that's in the stash into the spacious pouch, you should probably do so now.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe some of the the healing consumables and stuff, because then I can hand them to people in battle.
Yeah.
Rather than. So
that's usually what people do with bag of holdings, is just fill them to the brim with consumables and.
Yeah, that's usually what the party
Yeah.
stash is in most adventures, is your bag of holding.
Especially when you get to really high levels and you have a bag of holding 4. That thing doesn't even have a cap. Let's be honest.
Well,
we put a dragon in there.
It does, but it is negligible.
We literally
pretty much.
We started pulling parts of. We said, "Hey Sarah, can we put a whole dragon in here?" And she said, "No, you cannot put a whole dragon in here." We're like, "Okay." So we started chopping the dragon into pieces. She was like, "That's not what I meant."
Yeah, the Type 4 spacious pouch has a limit of 150 bulk.
Yeah, so it held a lot of shit.
The oil of mending, can that be used within a battle? Should I take that too?
Yes. It's usually an oil or a potion only takes 1 action to use normally.
Snare trap, frick it, take it all. Snare trap would be useful.
Yeah.
We're like, let's take the organs and the skin.
Yeah, the one limitation is that the items have to actually fit through the opening of the bag.
And no sentient beings are allowed in it, right?
Actually, to the opposite, a living creature placed inside the bag has enough air for 10 minutes before it begins to suffocate. And it can attempt to escape against a DC of 13. So
we did that once.
That's pretty low.
we couldn't
that's how it is in 2nd edition. So that's new for 2nd edition, but
I thought the big rule was no, the bag is almost sentient and can reject.
Not in Pathfinder, because I know in 1st edition it also had the 10 minutes of air rule, because
no. When I played with my other group and we were playing 1E together, when my character first started learning how to teleport, I could only do so many people at a time, and we had an NPC in the party. So we had too many people, and we didn't want to leave one of our crew members behind. One of our characters was small compared to the rest of us, because he was playing a rat folk. So whenever we would teleport, we would just say, "Okay, get in the bag of holding." We just kept tossing his character in the bag of holding. It was a thing we did for several. It was a couple levels before we got enough.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Come on, Muda, get in the bag.
Yeah, so you can put, I assume, like, if you put, 5 creatures in there, then they would only have enough air for 2 minutes, but if you're just spending a single action to teleport, then, like, that's pretty negligible. And, however, it doesn't really work as a jail, because the escape DC is so low. That's something that's new for 2nd edition.
You gotta
So-
willingly get in the bag.
Yeah. So any, like, legendary Pokemon that you put in there will invariably escape at inopportune moments.
Kind of use as a combat feature by I
Good
attack,
try.
jump into the bag. They'd be like, "The fuck just happened?" And then
They would probably just damage your bag.
why?
Yeah.
Why would they? They'd be like,
What?
Okay, if they're smart enough to know what a spacious pouch is, they would just tear it open and you would... Actually,
happens
that
when
would
you
be
tear that
terrible
open?
because,
Yeah.
it says if the bag is overloaded or broken, it ruptures and is ruined, causing the items inside to be lost forever.
No.
If it's turned inside out, the items inside spill out unharmed. So yeah, if you go in there to hide and someone, a bear comes along and rips it to shreds, you would die. You would be lost forever by rules as written.
I was hoping to, like, it would just rupture and just cause everything explode out of it.
That's what happens when you turn it inside out.
We should do that as a last resort.
Uh-huh. That's a good way to get a total party kill.
Yeah, just like if it's the end of the game, we should just like put the most heaviest things in there and inside out it.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, new toys aside, you all have this sense of foreboding. You have decided to increase the patrols. Is there anything else you would like to, any other precautions you would like to take or plans you would like to make in case something happens?
I'm being sneaky this entire time in case something happens. So
This is
that
our
I can
druid.
enter this stealthily. I guess I'm gonna draw my crossbow,
Okay.
if I can.
I'm gonna draw my fist.
Because that's one hand. I'm gonna draw a crossbow.
you just pull your hand out of your pocket.
You draw
I'm
my
gonna-
mind.
draw...
You know how they do it in like fucking
And fucking.
cactus
RPG
print.
games where they just like lift their hands up.
Yeah. Go into your
Yeah.
your fighting pose. Okay.
Like Gary's mod. My back is like snapping when I'm looking upwards, like.
So, after approximately 2 hours of waiting, the first of the floodwaters begin to wash down the flood road. You hear shouts and cries of excitement go up around the camp as everyone looks to the northwest. It takes a moment to notice, but the flood road itself looks like it's moving. A few seconds later, it becomes clear that this is the leading edge of the floodwaters. Full of dirt, mud, and large chunks of debris, the water washes down the road a foot or two high, moving slowly in a large trickle. Several attendees mutter, and a few chuckle at this less than impressive sight. Ardax calls out to the crowd, "That was just a spillover from a melted lake, like a first sip of ale. Just watch." Within a few minutes, a low rumbling soon becomes a roar that can be heard from even this distance. A veritable wall of water, some 20 feet high, crashes and churns its way through the flood roads, and where it passes, it overflows the banks and spreads across the terrain for perhaps 100 feet on either side. The main channel of what has become a sudden river rushes past. Uprooted trees, tumbling boulders, and chunks of ice as large as houses are pushed irresistibly along by the flow of the water. Before long, the once dry and parched terrain has been transformed into a rushing river with a wide, waterlogged morass on either side. Everyone in the camp kind of just goes, "Woo!" and begins to clap politely, golf claps.
But what's it smell like?
It smells like water, which I know is not a terribly helpful thing to say, but like water that has picked up a lot of dirt, churning of this sort of dusty, dry ground that has sort of kicked up a lot of dirt and particulate matter into the air. So you get like this sort of smell of cold water mixed with like dirt and mud and dead plant life, that kind of thing. So a little bit of detritus as well.
I'm gonna look around where everybody is not looking and make sure we're still, like, good and nothing's sneaking up on us.
Okay, make a perception check. So you were like looking around the camp, you don't see any immediate threats. However, looking down around the environment below you, you see, down by the riverbanks, you see signs of movement along the saturated land.
Oh, I pointed out to the rest of my group. Guys, like, look, do you see that thing? Like, do you see movement down there? Is that, like, are there people down there? Is that something we should
It's hard to
Yeah,
tell
it's
from
just
this distance. It could be just animals. It could be just water percolating through the dry land and causing land to shift. It's hard to tell, but nothing immediate seems to happen. In fact, it takes about an hour for the waters along the banks of the river to be fully absorbed and the river to settle properly back into its banks. It continues to rush down the flood road, but the larger detritus its waters carried was mostly at the front of the main wave. Where once there was a dry and parched riverbed, there is now a rushing and roaring river. Ardax is busy entertaining questions and comments from all of the gathered dignitaries. You hear him make a point of saying that this is one of the larger floods that he's witnessed. And he says the plan is to stay here and admire the view for a few hours before returning to base camp.
Okay. So Yuri's still on edge because she feels like some shit's gonna go down.
Would anyone else like to survey the
Yeah.
I would like.
the area?
Maybe someone a little taller than me might see some more.
And with night vision.
What do your orc eyes see? What do your green-ass eyes see, motherfucker?
Ooh,
I see a lot.
more than me. See? More than me.
You see all!
I'm fucking wired right now.
Okay, so that is a critical success. Your keenly honed eyes, you gaze in, and like a hawk, you see what at first you thought may have been just animals moving along the riverbank, but you see that actually these are shapes not just moving along the river, but emerging from the ground.
It's zombies.
What do you do?
Oh wait, I have a.
Tell-
No, I don't anymore.
My fellow
Tell
scouts
Ardax.
with me.
You.
is there
I think you and the scouts are kind of like spread out around the camp, so you could certainly go get them if you wanted to get their attention, get their opinion on this.
Well, I can see, I know what it is, and
Do we know what it is, though? Just something coming out of the ground.
Yeah, it seems to be shapes coming out of the ground. That's all you can
it's
tell.
an issue.
It's an issue. That's true.
That is the main.
Yeah, unless you have spotted a pack of moles of colossal proportions, this is something strange indeed.
Yeah, and
So we should definitely warn the scouts to make sure that the
Yes.
rest of the people are going to be protected.
I direct one of the scouts to rush to Ardax immediately and tell him of this.
Okay,
The enemy is among us.
okay. So
The great enemy.
are you going to go, or are you going to tell somebody else to do it?
I'm gonna tell them, and then I'm going to tell the scout to go to Ardax, and then I'm going to go to our party.
Okay. So, the rest of you who are back in the camp, you see Heen Bonesnap just run into the camp and approach Ardax. As she speaks to him, he like whips around and looks down at the flood road, and you see this pallid look crawl over his face. So additionally, the movement along the banks of the flood road grows more and more pronounced as muddy forms emerge from where the water has touched. Some lumber about, while others move with disturbing grace. Within a few minutes, hundreds of creatures have clawed their way out of the earth. The hordes begin moving away from the river on either side. Ardax stares for a moment longer, flanked by his guards, as the other dignitaries look on with growing alarm. The white-haired orc's eyes widen, then quickly narrow in determination. His tone commanding, he shouts, "We're returning to the base camp immediately. You will only have a few minutes to gather your most important possessions before we leave. There is no time to waste. Go!" Hey everyone, Sarah here. I just wanted to take a quick second to thank you for listening to our shows. It really means a lot. I and the rest of the crew work really hard to bring you this show each week for free and ad-free. If you want to support the show, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Word of mouth and feeding the algorithm helps small creators like us get traction. Additionally, consider joining our Patreon for early access to all of my projects, periodic sticker and other merch drops, and exclusive Discord benefits. You can learn more at the site over at baph.xyz. That's BAPH.xyz. That's all for now. Thanks, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. We are refreshed and ready to get back into the adventure. When last we left off, you had just been given the order by Ardax to evacuate the temporary camp and retreat to Torrentmoot. You have a few minutes to gather your supplies or make any preparations or whatever you would like to do before everyone sets out. What would you like to do?
Well, I pretty much, I have everything on me. I didn't really put anything down or needed to grab anything, so I'm gonna stealthily, I'm gonna stay stealthy this entire time, because I'm a sneaky little gnome. I'm gonna try to, just help people collect their shit to make it go faster.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same of, I'm a big man. I can grab a few more things than other people.
Yeah, is there, what kind of, is there, children and old people with us at all? Can we specifically, help, or is it all just... It's all just dignitaries,
I think it's everybody from the camp.
So there's kids and old people and stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna specifically try to help them get their stuff and get going ahead of everybody else out there.
Okay.
Piggyback them.
Yeah, you can piggyback. The kids love you.
No, you should piggyback them.
They're the same size as me. They're orc children.
Some of them are a little bigger than you.
Some of them are bigger than me, yes. They'd be piggybacking me.
Okay, would anyone like to investigate the creatures that are erupting from the ground in the distance? Okay, make a religion check.
I shall. Religi. 16.
16 is not enough. You're not sure what is going on there.
Dang it.
You think that there are probably some undead in there.
Is this worth a reroll, you think, Makiwa?
We'll get another chance to identify them.
Okay, fair. Oh, fair.
Or anyone else can do it if you're trained in religion.
Nah.
This is unrelated to what's happening right now, but I'm gonna try to identify my object.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and say you did that as you were traveling. Go ahead and make an occultism check.
Occultism.
Stops in the middle of packing up. Wait, what is
this again?
Okay, a 25 is enough.
25. That's the question I'm asking.
Max.
Okay, it is an object called a fear gem.
Oh.
I will demystify it for you.
Hoping it would be the most mundane thing possible. It's amber.
Dark smoke seems to writhe within this obsidian gem. When you activate the gem, make a melee strike. If you hit and deal damage, the target is frightened 1 or frightened 2 on a critical hit. If you have the intimidating strike feat, you increase the frightened condition. It is a consumable item.
Nice.
You just bash it over someone's head?
But you concentrate, and then you punch somebody, and then if you hit them and deal damage with your strike, or you don't have to punch, you just make a melee strike. But if you hit them and deal damage, they are frightened, in addition to the normal effects of your strike.
So does that mean that the 2 action activate action includes the melee strike, or it would be a full turn, 2 to concentrate, 1 to strike?
It includes the strike.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Oh, nice. Well, that's fun.
But it is a one-time thing, so...
Oh, and then
keep that in mind. Yeah, it's consumable.
One and done.
I don't think anyone else has religion.
I have religion.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, you just didn't. She just didn't say anything. Go ahead and make a religion check if you want to. To gain additional
I have the same amount
information.
as my bonus is the same as Dust. Dust just didn't roll well.
Oof.
Nope.
Or worse.
Unfortunately, yeah, you're not sure. Could be undead, but it's hard to tell from this distance.
I mean, do No, we're already doing.
They might just be
Let's
gravely injured old men.
That does
Oh
happen.
shit, they might need help.
Right? Yeah, they got swept up by. They actually just got swept up by the water, and they're trying to escape from the mud. They're just hurt, injured people.
Okay, Ardax approaches you all and he says, I need you all to help lead the group back to camp. I will be moving with my guards to try and cut off any of these creatures which advance upon our position, but I need you to take charge of the civilians here.
Good thing I got a compass.
Of
No
course.
problem, bud.
We are beginning a new subsystem here, which is a modified version of the chase subsystem. Instead of chasing against a pursuer or a pursuee, you are racing against the clock. You are trying to earn escape points, which you will do by overcoming obstacles. And the more you guys succeed at overcoming the obstacles, the better chance you will have of succeeding in this chase and improving the outcome of these events.
Okay.
Mario Party minigame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Mario Party. You gotta mash A as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Rotate the stick, but don't do it with your palm,
Rotate.
even though that's the most effective way to do that.
Wait, why do you not want to use your palm?
Because it's if you press too hard on the stick with your palm, it can hurt your hand. Nintendo actually got sued about that in the 90s with Mario Party.
Well, that's just don't be fucking noob.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
Don't be
Nintendo
fucking
Seriously,
noob.
though.
are noobs.
No, it's not Nintendo who's the noob. It's the person who went, "Ouchie, my hand hurt." It's like, fuck off.
So
Don't play a game you can't handle, little baby.
I'm assuming camouflage dye is enough for only one person if it's one.
usually one dose of a consumable item is only good for one person, unless it says otherwise in the description. You will be coming up against a number of different obstacles during this retreat. There will be listed ways that you could attempt to subvert these obstacles. However, you're free to come up with your own ideas, and particularly clever ideas may in fact earn you better degrees of success. So keep that in mind. Is everyone ready to run for it?
Run!
Yes.
Run!
Indeed. Okay, so you set out at the head of the gathered crowd and civilians. Everyone is worried and is calling out in distress. It's there's only a thin veneer of control and competence that is keeping these people from panicking and scattering to the winds. And there's only a certain amount of time before whatever these foul creatures that have sprung from the earth catch up with you. So, as you're leaving the camp, it begins to rain, actually. The clouds that have gathered throughout the day open up, and you feel drips of water, cold and sapping your energy, just begin to pluck down on top of your heads, picking up into a torrent of water. You see ahead of you see scattered rocks and patches of brown grasses dotting the rolling hills ahead. Throughout the area are fuzzy bushes that appear to be covered in soft, downy fluff. Closer inspection reveals that the plants are covered in thousands and thousands of fine, needle-like spines. Keen Bonesnap puts a hand up and speaks to the crowd. "This is the fastest path, but move carefully and avoid these plants. They'll stab you sharper than any needle, and they have barbs." The obstacle here is these patches of cactuses, which grow in large bushes made up of hundreds of bulbous growths. Even a grazing touch on one of these plants guarantees dozens of barbed hooked leaves embedded in the victim's clothes and skin. Each bulb snaps off easily, and anyone who makes the mistake of stumbling into a patch walks away with clumps of the cactus all over their body.
How large is this cactus patch?
It is kind of just
massive?
scattered throughout.
Okay.
So,
Mine field.
anyone can make a nature or plant lore check to identify these plants, even though I just told you what they were. I don't think I was supposed to tell you that.
Whoop.
That's fine.
But you won't get the bonus unless you make the check.
Oh, that's much better. Yes, Tyler.
Okay, Duroc, you identify these plants as needle down cactus, and you explain everything I just said about them. So all of you will gain a +2 circumstance bonus to bypass this obstacle. So you need the standard way is to bypass this is an acrobatics or athletics check to move quickly and dodge the cactuses, or nature or survival to carefully pick a path.
I'ma do athletic.
Okay.
So, what was the other one with athletics? Sorry, it was athletics.
Athletics or acrobatics to maneuver around them, or nature or survival to intelligently pick your path. So
I'm gonna try to pick a path.
pick a path. Pick a path through pickled peppers.
Do you think I get a good path with 28, Sarah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I got 27 too, so we got.
So that is a critical success for Trizhalyn and regular successes for Sayuri and Duroc. Makiwa, what would you like to do?
That's a great
follow
question.
our pick path.
Yeah, because I'm not trained in nature, so I don't really know.
Are you trained in survival, athletics, or acrobatics?
Yes, I guess I'll do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sayuri, with the +2 bonus, that's a 29, which is a critical success.
True. Yay.
So, 2 critical successes.
We killing it out here with the cactus.
Alright, so I rolled a 14.
Okay, so that is a failure, but not a critical failure.
Good.
So you take a little bit of piercing damage as you crash into a bit of cactus as you pass through. You take a staggering 1 point of piercing damage.
Oh no.
1 whole point. It poked you.
Okay, so
Bleeding.
2 critical successes and a regular success earn you 5 escape points.
Wait, that's not a critical success?
Duroc, you did not get a critical success.
Oh.
It's 28. It's 2 + 2, so 28 then too.
Yeah, 28 is not a critical success
Okay.
for athletics.
Oh,
So let's see. You also gain reputation points every time you get a critical success.
Nice.
You guys are crushing it with the reputation points, by the way.
Hell yes.
We are crushing our busted.
As you're making your way and guiding people through this patch of cactus, Devore passes you and he says, "These things are fascinating. I wish I had time to sketch them up close."
I would not stop.
Can I hand him one of the things I plucked off to keep at least?
Sure. He says, "Thank you. This is a most valuable specimen." You can see that he's even though he's running, he is trying to jot down a crude sketch of the plants. A few minutes pass, and in the distance you hear the sound of rumbling feet as creatures are moving ahead of you. But not just small or human-sized creatures, but rumbling beasts are approaching you. And it's not long at all before the land opens up into broad plains extending to the south and east. Mesas rise from the plains directly to the south, while the east has a few low hills and scrubby vegetation. A huge cloud of dust rises from the north, gliding across the land as it moves south. The dust disperses to reveal a herd of wild-eyed aurochs, crushing everything in their path as they bellow in terror. So, what would you like to do?
Do we know what direction we have to go to get back to the...
You guys are heading east, so you are basically crossing their path perpendicularly.
And they're running?
Yeah,
Or
they
they're
are
just not?
stampeding even,
Yeah.
charging wildly.
I mean, we could wait for them to pass, but that might take forever depending
Yeah,
on the size of the herd.
that
We're
may
not-
take valuable time.
Yeah.
maybe Trizhalyn scare them in a different direction.
Or calm them with a song, if that's the thing.
Um,
What kind of alien, what kind of creatures are they?
They are aurochs.
Susceptible to, what do we know about them? Are they susceptible to stuff like that?
Well,
like songs?
you've killed one before. They're big, hairy cows.
Yeah, the cows.
And by big, they are the size of a truck. They are quite large cows that are indigenous to this area.
Do they have the brains to be susceptible to performance? Because that could, calm. I'm assuming they don't speak language.
No, they are animals.
All I've got is bombs. I don't think that's going to help the stampeding situation.
I think we could try to spook them in a different direction.
We could.
I can't. But
Should I throw a bomb somewhere and spook them? I have a blasting stone and an algae bomb and a cactus bomb. Currently.
if you could chuck it in front of the herd.
Here's the thing. It's not just like 3 or 4 of them. It's like a whole pack of them. So even if you like, attack 1 or 2, it's probably not going to divert the entire stampede.
Well, I meant like they follow the leader.
Yeah, like spook them in a new direction is more.
Yeah, like some Twilight Princess stuff.
Fucking get in front of them and flip them to the ground. Well, there are a lot of them is the problem. Like, it's not just 1 or 2. It's... Imagine the wildebeest stampede from The Lion King. It's like that.
I've got a muscle stiffness poison, but I don't think I got enough for all of them.
Yeah, so...
let's just start jumping on top of them.
If you all would like to scout or search the area ahead, you can make a perception check.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
We shall.
Oh, I'm not very perceptive today. Oof.
Oh, 17.
Plus 2 to all of them. But I got 14, but plus 2, right? Still, so.
No,
16.
that was just on the last obstacle.
Just last one. Okay, so 14.
I got a 22.
Okay, so Trizhalyn is the only one who succeeded. So Trizhalyn, you see certain areas of uneven ground that the Aurochs seem to avoid, which will increase your degree of success on the overcome check by 1 degree.
Okay.
That will be very useful for you. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for on your allies. So, in order to overcome this obstacle, you can make an acrobatics or athletics check to avoid the Aurochs, or a nature check to attempt to calm the creatures.
Well, I guess I'm trying to calm them. Oh no, I only got a 14.
I will go around them.
25 is pretty damn good, Tyler.
What I do?
All right, Makiwa and Trizhalyn, what are you gonna do?
Okay. Well, I heard the options, but I didn't quite catch which ones were for which role.
So you can do an acrobatics or athletics check to avoid the Aurochs altogether,
Okay.
or a nature check to try to calm them, or anything else that you can think of which might be useful. Again, in each of these circumstances, if you can think of something that you can do which might be useful, you can do that.
Oh shit. 18.
Okay, so...
Should have tried to sneak.
Okay, so, Sayuri, you fail. You try to, placate them, but they don't even notice you, unfortunately, with your diminutive stature. Durak, you are able to, like Simba, you're able to jump over...
Oh.
Sad trumpet again, or trombone, I should say. I have a lot of fun adding that in post. Makiwa, do you have any hero points? Would you like to re-roll that, or you want to just
Get stampeded on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna get fucked up.
Okay. Well, actually, nothing happens. However, on a critical failure, you lose 1 escape point, as you are caught up in the stampede, and it takes time away as you have to extricate Makiwa from the herd of panicking animals.
Damn, sorry,
He
fam.
became one of the panicking animals.
Trizhalyn, because you scouted ahead, you actually increase your failure to a success. So you gain 2 escape points, but lose 1. So you are net +1.
I can live with that.
As the rain begins to heavy, you make your way closer to Torrent Moot. You know you're getting close, but aren't quite there yet. Real quick, there is actually something you can do on a critical failure, Makiwa. You actually see Ardax and his warriors are nearby, trying to redirect the herd of Aurochs. They see you fall in and are swept away on the backs of these creatures, and one of them reaches down, grabs you, and tosses you over the stampede. So it actually changes your critical failure into a success.
Oh.
However,
Nice.
Heck yeah.
you all aren't
They got
sure
your
you can rely on their help much further.
That was our one. That was our.
That's fair.
That was your one
yeah,
safety
yeah.
net.
Yeah.
Okay,
Still
so
a problem.
yeah, so as you finish helping most of the group overcome the Aurochs stampede, most of them have already gotten well past the danger. However, there are a few groups still straggling behind. As you're helping them get past the panicking animals, you see several shapes begin to emerge from the heavy curtain of rain beyond. They're hunched and waterlogged, but rapidly dart forward toward a group of stragglers. Ardak shouts a command, and several of his warriors join him in a charge against the undead, valiantly defending the group. However, a few dark shapes shoot past the warriors, unnoticed as their skirmish continues. It is up to you, and I will bring you all over to the map.
Where's
But we are going to... they are to the
Oh, they're up there.
northeast. We are going to roll initiative.
Probably get close. But
No.
No, you're going to be this far away, but
oh,
you'll take some turns to, approach each other. So everyone go ahead and roll perception for initiative.
And I get a +1.
Plus one.
I got 29.
I got
I heard a trombone finally.
God.
I don't like how many rolls Sarah's doing.
I like how low they are. though.
That was Makiwa. You got the natural one on initiative.
Yeah.
You do actually get the +1 bonus from your premonition earlier. So that
Nice.
increases you from 11 to 12.
You're
However,
so slow.
that ties you with one of the enemies who, when there's a tie between a player character and a enemy, the enemy goes first.
Rude.
Oh,
So-
fun.
Unfortunately,
So
that
it's
didn't
like-
help you this time.
No.
Okay, first up is Sayuri. You see these undead, they look like reanimated orcs, still wearing their armor and clothing from when they were alive, and they seem to be holding crossbows, though they likely will not be able to make very good use of them. This is what they look like.
Oh,
Oh.
They are dripping wet, which, to be fair, you are too, considering there is a torrential downpour.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sayuri,
those
what do
guys
you
came
do?
out of a river.
Well, we're pretty. Let me see how far we are and how.
You are quite far indeed. The closest one is 125 feet from you.
You could
I need
ready
to
an
get-
action.
What?
You can ready actions by spending 2. If they get into your range, you could use your action.
Yeah, I already got my crossbow and my grenade out on the hill when we first heard something.
Yeah, but what he's saying
So-
is ready in action just means that you would, like, for example, have it loaded, have it pointed, and as soon as they got close enough, without it being your turn,
Oh, I
you would
see.
actually just shoot them. It's a ready to action, so it happens regardless of if it's your turn.
Oh,
The game
that's
here
the thing.
is to make sure they use as much actions as possible on their turns, and we don't use as much as.
So yeah,
as
so we
much.
want them to come to us.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
us
it's like
ready.
Fire Emblem.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
It's like Fire
all
Emblem.
right. That sounds good. So
Not everybody here has played Fire Emblem.
So I would say all the range people
See, I
should
already-
probably come up here, and I assume they don't walk fast because they're undead. That's
You don't
just an
know.
Assumption. That's just an assumption. That's all. With me.
The zombie bears certainly didn't move very quickly. They were a little sluggish.
So y'all can probably get free pop shots as I kind of stay in the back, and once when they get closer, y'all just fall back.
Because the second they get within, I think 30 feet now, I can throw.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking, like,
What's
Sarah's
the
just
turn?
all of a sudden, when it's their turn, gonna go, "It's World War Z, motherfucker!" and they just start sprinting.
Right.
No, actually, this can go 40 feet. So the second they get within 40 feet, I can throw this grenade. So so with the ready thing, you mean like I can like ready this grenade to throw, and then when they get within that range,
Yeah.
I throw it?
Yeah.
But it takes 2 actions to ready a.
Well, that's
action.
fine, because I'm not really doing... I'm going to do that with my
Anything
grenade then. How do I... Is that something I put in, or is that just something I know and keep in my head?
You just tell Sarah.
Yeah, you just
So
tell Sarah.
the way it works is to ready an action, you spend 2 actions. So what you may want to do is move first. And then when you ready an action, your turn ends. You specify you can only ready a single action activity. So like throwing a bomb would work, or making a strike. You choose that single action or free action, I suppose, and you designate a trigger such as an enemy comes within range. Your turn then ends. Then, if the trigger you designated occurs before the start of your next turn, you can use the chosen action as a reaction. So you still have one action to spend before you ready. Otherwise, that action would just be lost. So.
Okay, so then yes, I can go 25 feet. Guess we want to get that close? Like we go to the max forward?
You can. Like, it's gonna take them a minute to get here.
Yeah.
Your range is
think
going
that-
to be there, no matter if they moved at 30 feet or they still have to use
40.
all their actions to get here.
So the second they're within the 40-foot range. Yeah, so the second they're within 40 feet, I'm going to throw this...
Okay.
No, not that. This cactus grenade
Okay. Cool.
at them. That's
So
in
your
my
turn
hand.
ends, and keep that in mind. Okay, so first up, it is the first creature's turn, the one to the northwest. It is... How much movement does it have? That's what I thought. Okay, so it is going to spend its entire action moving towards you all. It's going to move to here as its entire turn. I believe that is 25 feet from you. So go ahead, and that triggers your readied action if you'd like to take
Perfect.
it, Sayuri.
I very much would, so...
Or you can
This
wait for
guy-
more of them to get closer and hit them all with splash damage, but that's up to you.
And it'll stay ready.
Yeah, you can choose not to take it.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, we'll wait.
Okay.
Get a few of them.
Duroc, it's your turn.
Get ready, Trizhalyn.
So, just in case, I'm going to move right here. Any shenanigans happen, then enter my stance. Then
I have to peek out behind you to throw a grenade. It's cute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Duroc is not a 5-foot cube, so you can see around him. It's not
know
a
what's
huge
cute,
deal.
Shane?
legs.
You know what's cute?
Yeah, hot
Shane?
dog.
Yes! That's even better.
Oh no! You gotta do it through his legs, but you gotta do it upwards like granny toss.
Okay.
That sounds dangerous.
You gotta hide like Chopper and just chuck.
Okay, so Duroc, you moved and then entered your stance. What else?
Yeah, that'd be it.
Okay.
That's all.
Trizhalyn, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna start buffing shit.
Buffing and shit. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and
Do the second one off in the bush.
So now that I have 2 songs, it's like a whole new
A whole new world.
Yeah. So I want to make sure always that I'm what to go with. I'm gonna sing a song. I'm just trying to
Sing a song.
The one gives you a +1 status bonus to attack rolls, damage rolls, save your effects. The other one gives you a +1 status bonus AC against saving. And just like Tyler was saying earlier, talking about this, it's basically more like defensive or offensive.
I was saying that, but yeah.
Oh, you're both?
Okay, well, sure.
I think for
Whichever
the time
you'd
being,
like
I'm
to
gonna
do.
go with her. I think for the time being,
Okay,
or
you want
attacking,
to
'cause-
let it linger
Yeah, I got
like a cranberry?
You got let it linger.
You have to let it linger. I'm searching for fire.
So my first action is actually to get my drum out. Play
If
my
you told
drum.
me you already had it out, I wouldn't argue with you.
I already have it out.
That sounds
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Convincing.
I believe it.
I'm going to turn on the circumstance bonus for my virtuoso performer on, just so that I don't have to add a +1 for the drum. Mindful of that. I don't like adding.
Okay.
So, roll. That is 27 total. That's the regular success, right?
Okay, that is a regular success. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Yeah, so you get 3 rounds of Courageous Anthem.
In my defense, it is very hard to hit. Like, if I play the drum, do I take a separate turn to like something? I imagine it takes a separate turn.
You mean to cast a spell from it? It's the same as if you had that spell prepared or in your spell repertoire.
I'm actually what I was referring to is the benefits of having. Like, are those separate, or are those like when you use the drums you get like
the ability
+5?
of the drums?
Yes, because like I understand.
Well, you mean while
spells.
playing the drums? Yeah. I would say you can do your performance through it if you want. So it would be part of your Courageous Anthem.
To reiterate, that gives everybody.
No, it's just you.
Fine. I get a +5 bonus dice that I will have to remember to count. Okay, then I know. I'm gonna ready an action that is. Well, actually, that guy who's in front, he's close enough. Have we actually done a full knowledge check? What they are?
You haven't done anything on them. So you would need to make a religion check to identify or recall knowledge on these.
He's 50 feet away. I said religion.
Religion, yes.
23.
Okay, 23 is a success. These are a type of creature called flood ghouls. What would you like to know? You get 1 question.
Weaknesses, defensive.
They are immune to bleed, death effects, disease, paralysis, poison, and unconsciousness. They have no weaknesses or resistances, and they do have void heal. They take void healing and vitality damage.
What do you mean take vitality damage?
Well, living creatures don't take vitality damage.
Oh, what about Dust's character?
He does. So he has void healing, but he isn't actually undead. I don't think.
Yep.
No.
So he.
No. Yep.
He's just a.
So he is
special baby.
He still is immune to vitality damage, but he's also immune to vitality healing. Mm-hmm. So he takes void damage and void healing. I think is how that works.
Yep.
I share all that, and then for my last turn, I will shield.
Okay. All right. It is the second Flood Ghoul's turn. It charges up to you all. It goes to here. It just runs up to you, and these do not appear to be slow or sluggish like the zombie bears. They appear to have full range of motion, and that is its turn. It gets up to there. Next up, it is the third Flood Ghoul's turn. It's going to move 75 feet to right here. And then the last guy, he's also going to move 75 feet to here.
And that means I'm going to throw it at one of them, my bomb.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, none of them are within 5 feet of each other, but you kind of have your pick of the litter here, of which one you want to pick.
It'll have to do.
These guys are close enough. They're like 10 feet.
That's 10 feet. Yeah. Okay, I'm still going to throw it at this closest
Okay.
here.
Make your range strike.
Nice.
Damn.
Kaboom!
29.
Critical hit. So go ahead and roll crit damage.
Nice.
Okay, 15 points of piercing damage and 1 point of piercing slash.
And it's a stupid one.
Stupefied. He's dumb as hell for real. And he can run and tell that to his homeboys. Makiwa, 4 undead creatures have just charged up to your party.
Yeah,
what would you like to do?
The first thing we're going to do is move forward.
Okay. Charge confidently into the face of danger.
Yes.
Gotta get on the front lines as a psychic.
Well, I gotta get close enough to hit him.
That's fair.
I was gonna back up my next turn.
We're here
I'm
now.
going to glimpse weakness on the Trizhalyn.
That's one of them. Do you have to roll for that, or what? Or does it just automatically apply? I think it just automatically applies.
Yeah. And why don't I amp it?
Ooh. Amp. You got 1 action left.
That I do. Who goes next?
Next would be Sayuri.
I'm gonna cast guidance on Sayuri.
The old guy dance. It gives you a +1 on any d20 roll for the end of your turn.
Oh, cool.
But you have to use it before you roll.
Okay.
So that is Makiwa's turn. Sayuri.
Okay, so because I have the quick bomber, that's 1 action. This is actually no longer. So I'm going to throw... I guess all of the splash damage is this, like, the splash damage range is the same on everything?
As far as I know.
I think because it just says splash. Okay, cool. So I'll throw the crystal shards at this guy in front of me. As 1, because I can pull it and throw it in 1 now. So...
Dang, Kirby's gonna be so mad that you're throwing his crystal shards.
Throw. Nice. 27. Hit.
Wow. Yeah, 27 is... if you had just used the guidance, that would have been a critical hit.
Oh, I was gonna use that! I forgot. That needs to apply automatically.
Yeah, that's not how that spell works. That is precisely
that's fine.
opposite to how that spell works.
Alright, well, damage.
Okay, so...
they are immune to...
I mean, that's still pretty good.
What are they... Did we find out?
They are immune to bleed.
We found out, yeah, okay.
So who are you targeting?
Bleed? It was the one right in front of me, the injured one, yeah.
Okay, 13 points of direct... Oh, you know what, Sayuri? It automatically includes the splash damage in your damage roll.
Oh, so it has been doing it.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's good.
Even if I was dumb and didn't know how
Pathfinder.
the thing worked.
Thank you.
So I'm actually going to undo that 1 extra splash damage I did to it. Which does not really help, in all honesty.
Fine, yeah.
But, okay. Well, that is 1 action,
okay, so that was 1, yes. And I have my crossbow out.
Of your crossbow.
So then I have a violet... What is my violet venom? Might not. Were they immune to a poison or an acid or something?
They're immune to poison.
Their immunities are bleed, death effects, disease, paralysis, poison, and unconsciousness.
Okay, but I can use it as an acid, so...
Yeah. Acid.
So I'm going to use this violet venom as an acid instead of a poison, but I'm going to shoot it in my crossbow because I have it as a bolt made already. So still to... Can't remember. Do I have to load and shoot my crossbow as 2, or since it's already out, I can just shoot it?
If you haven't already loaded it, if you didn't load it ahead of time, you need to spend an action to load it. You have to put the bolt in and crank the string back.
Yeah, I'm gonna put because we were running around, so I did not have that done. So I'm gonna have the bolt in it, and I'm gonna crank it back, and I'm gonna use the guidance this time to shoot the crossbow at this same guy here.
All right, crank that soldier bolt.
I'm gonna try to kill him and call it a day.
And and this is with your map -5.
And this is with the guidance.
With guidance, so that'll probably give you a thing to toggle it on.
And then I strike with the venom after. That's how we do
Okay,
that, right?
well, go ahead and roll the damage on the crossbow bolt. It may not matter.
Oh, okay. I should have shot somebody else then.
Okay, 4 points of piercing damage. You shoot him right through the eye socket, and the creature collapses to the ground.
Oh, cool. Woo! Wow, I didn't even have to poison
Look
him.
at you.
Damn.
Nice.
Thump. That is your turn. All right, now it is the ghoul to the left's turn on the, shall we say, the west. It points at you, Sayuri, and shrieks in this undead language that only Makiwa understands, and it says, "Get the gnome! Surround her!"
Oh.
And
I don't like that it's pointing at me.
It's going to move up here between you guys. What do you mean,
I have the move where it lets me attack.
Damn.
Oh?
Well, let's see how that
not
works.
Today.
Can you reach your move action?
Oh, yeah, it sure does.
This way, so.
Nice. Stand still, laddie.
Yep.
You're like, no, and you just punch him.
Maybe.
Maybe.
21 is a hit.
All right.
I love it. Does Makiwa tell us about this threat, or is he just gonna let us?
Well, so far he's just been standing there and T-posing in the rain, so... Alright, 13 points of bludgeoning damage. And you get the glimpse weakness.
Dead.
Since it was amped, I think you add some additional damage to that.
Oh yeah, it's a 1/4?
So it's actually, instead of 2, it's 1d4 plus 1. So go ahead and roll a d4. Okay, so you didn't get any additional damage on that, so... That's okay, you still clocked him, but he is still standing there. I say he. I always say he for monsters. I don't know why I say that. Maybe it's just because men are just like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder why.
So, It is going to strike out at Sayuri with a claw attack. So it swings its clawed fingers at you. That is a 25 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm only 19. I got 19.
Max damage, 10 points of slashing damage. And then for its third action, it is going to grab.
No, I'm small, don't grab.
So it gets an acrobatics check. Natural 20. You are not only grabbed, you are restrained. As it just kind of grabs you. It gets a whole hand around your torso and just pins your arms to your side. You are restrained by this creature.
Help.
Okay, and that is the end of its turn. Duroc, it is your turn. This guy just ran up and yoinked your gnome.
He just stole me from behind you.
This yoink? Just picked it up like a fish out of the river. I'm sorry, picked her up. She does have pronouns. She's got purple hair and pronouns.
Hello.
Everyone's got pronouns, idiot. They came free with your Xbox.
I want to flank, but unfortunately I need to stand right here. For the two other dudes that's about to run up and probably go for her.
Fair enough.
Stunning blows, flurry of blows.
Okay, 22 is a hit. 7 is a, natural 1 is not going to hit, so. But roll damage on the first one. He's going to make a 42 save. Succeeds.
Yeah.
But just barely. But he is going to take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. You got 2 actions remaining. Oh, I'm sorry. Duroc, at the beginning of your turn, please make a fortitude save.
Fortitude, okay.
Oh, no.
I forgot. They smell really bad.
Oh no.
Okay, so you are sickened. It would not have affected your hit earlier, so don't worry about that.
And then I will use my last action to, I guess, retch.
Yeah, as this creature comes closer, it smells horrible. It smells like decaying flesh and like sewage. It's just awful. It makes you gag and kind of overwhelms your senses.
No, the 42 save?
Yeah, so if you spend an action to retch, you can get another fort save. Yep. Actually, 15 is a success.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So you are no longer sickened, and additionally, you are immune to the stench auras for 1 minute. So remember that. So next up, it is Trizhalyn's turn.
Trizzy. Was I always this far back, or?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason I forgot. Any hoozle boozle. Bibbity.
Any schnoozle.
Bobbity. Yeah.
Bibbity bobbity fuck.
So now I can cast spells and shit, because, like...
I don't want to do your fucking spells, you basket case.
I'm gonna telekinetic projectile.
Okay, the closest one?
It's only got a range of 30, so I think
Okay.
the only one.
Yeah, you'd
he's
have
the only
to,
one within
unless
range.
you
Does it
move.
matter that I'm currently in its arms?
No.
No.
Okay, good.
I would just hit
I
it
got
with
worried
shit in
for
the
a
back.
Only if she put a fireball centered on it, but that would... You'd have more problems than that.
Because everybody else would get burnt too. It's like, fuck all y'all. Boof.
It's called splash damage. Don't be a bitch about it.
Stop, Sarah.
I mean, that's how I act with my bombs, but that's only one.
There was
day.
there was a shirt that I saw someone wearing, I think at Pathfinder Society once, that said, "It's called splash damage. Suck it up or cry to the cleric about it."
That's so accurate. That was like Doug's whole character arc. Was he would just make characters who he would just like fight an enemy until like they both went down, and then he was like, "But at least I killed him." And we're just like, my cleric is not here just to heal you every 5 fucking seconds. But indeed, that's why my cleric was there, was to heal him every 5 fucking seconds. I was like, well, I literally, Sarah was like, everybody can make a second character, and I literally said, I'm making a cleric for his dumbass. So that my other character doesn't have to be the fucking healer. I'm going to hit, I mean, it's not immune or weak or anything to any of the damaging types, so I assume all of them are kind of
It's not as far as you know, so mostly just like undead type things.
I remember when we were fighting zombies once, that like flashing was better, I feel like.
I think that was against the bears, but these creatures do not have any particular weaknesses or resistances.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna go with slashing, cool, because like yellow.
So go ahead and make an attack roll. Okay.
Dang. 28.
28 is a critical hit.
Nice.
Everyone like my I swear, I'm just having tea. Nothing nefarious.
You're already nefarious. Go ahead and roll
I'm
your
a
crit damage,
goblin.
please. Or roll your damage and we'll double it.
I'm just a little pop.
Just a little lizard. A cellular snake.
Ooh.
Alright,
that's
7
bad.
doubled to 14, and you slice it into pieces and it collapses to the ground.
It was about to die anyway, but like that was also just not a good roll.
Releasing Sayuri in the process.
Yay! Thank you.
As long as you love me.
It is now the other ghoul's turns. The ghoul whose turn it is looks to the other one and says in their undead language that only Makiwa understands, "Avoid the orc! Capture the gnome! And kill her!" So it is going
Why
to
do they
move...
keep wanting to kill the gnome?
Oh damn! He's got to spend two actions to move up to Sire because she fucking blasted them with bombs. That's
Yeah.
why.
I destroyed the first one with bombs and a crossbow.
I think undead also hate any race that has Fey ancestry.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so it's
In
going to spend
general.
2 actions moving up
So we're already beefing.
over here, and then for its third action,
It's gonna pick you back up.
It's gonna pick me up now. Pick me up.
then
I'm
it's
getting, like,
going
tossed
to
around
make
by-
a jaws attack. It's going to bite you, or attempt to anyway. 16. It's probably going to miss.
No, I'm 19. I have 19.
All right, that is its turn. Next up, it is the other
Uh-huh.
ghoul's turn.
I used my armored cloak to protect myself.
Your armored coke. So it also spends 2 movement actions getting up to you.
And Tyler gets
This
to
guy
hit
should
it
have
right.
gone around to the other side, but whatever. And then it's also going to try to bite you. All right, 19 to hit.
Oh, shit. I did the math
That's-
wrong.
Just exactly hit or just exactly not a hit then at 19?
Ties go to the roller.
Damn.
That is 6 points of piercing damage as it
Ooh,
chomps
ouchie.
onto you.
It's
is its
using me
turn.
as a chew toy.
Doesn't
Just
Tyler get to
shaking you
hit
back
it?
and forth.
No.
All
No,
right,
I
What?
don't get to hit it.
Makiwa, it's your turn.
Oh, dang.
It is. Alright, now we can do some stuff. I'm gonna cast Sure Strike,
For some reason, I thought there
and
was
then
one
I'm
more
gonna
somewhere.
use that Sure Strike to cast Phase Bolt. Who am I attacking?
Neither
Let's
of them have
say-
taken damage so far, so...
I'm gonna say the one to the south because
Okay.
it'll be harder to get into for anyone to get into flanking with it. Now I Void Warp, and basically I just roll it twice.
Yeah, you rolled
Or
the
no.
attack twice and take
This
the
isn't
better
an
result.
attack that not Void Warp, it's Phase Bolt.
Phase
So let
Bolt.
me post that instead. Phase Bolt.
Phase
Alright,
Bolt.
So roll the attack
With fortune.
once, and that is 17, and then I roll the attack twice.
Okay, a
And that
25 is
25.
definitely a hit. So go ahead and roll
Yeah.
damage.
Okay, and we'll roll the damage.
My tattoo, 65. 2.2, 50, wapata.
12 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
You blast a hole in its shoulder. It hurts it, but it does not seem as bothered by it as a living being would be. But hey, you did some damage.
Said, ouch.
Top of round 3, it is Sayuri's turn. You're surrounded.
Okay, so I am surrounded. You are correct. So I'm going to first of all back up a bit while I can.
Well, you still can.
Oh, they're 5 feet from each other now, though.
Yes,
Indeed.
they are. So I'm gonna back up, and then my bad, Duroc. You're probably gonna get some splash damage, but I'm gonna throw.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sayuri, as at the beginning of your turn, please make a fortitude save against their stench ability.
Oh yeah. They stinky.
I keep
What's
forgetting
the area of effect for
They
that?
stink.
10 feet. Okay, 27 is a critical success, so
Big
Haha.
stinky.
you fine.
You smell
You've
it
smelled
and you're
worse.
I've smelled it.
I've been traveling with Duroc covered in black this whole time. I'm like, it's whatever.
Hey, we're
Alright,
all
you're fine.
The rock
in
smells
the
like
end.
bad, rotten teeth, okay?
Continue your turn, Sayuri.
I have 2 more things. So I'm actually gonna throw a bomb with one and then set my crossbow with another. So I'm gonna throw just a blasting stone.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw it at the injured guy. Might as well try to get rid of him.
Okay.
So strike him with that.
17
Miss,
is
didn't
just
I?
barely a miss.
Shit. Okay, well, I'll do. They still get the.
They still get splash. All right, 2 points of sonic splash.
And his buddy would get it too, I'm pretty sure.
Nope, just him.
Just him? Oh, okay. Because it was a miss.
Yeah.
Nice. And then. Yeah, I'm just gonna load my crossbow with a regular bolt and
Okay.
have it loaded. Ready to go.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Duroc,
What's up?
it's your turn.
Yeah.
What's that?
What's
Go for
up?
And then I will flurry of blows. Man, right here.
Okay,
Man, dang.
Creature.
26 is a hit. 20 is also a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage twice. All right, a combined 20 points of bludgeoning damage, and you blast its head into pieces.
Nice.
Just imagine just like just both my fists like coming together
Mm-hmm.
onto its temples.
Yeah, its head erupts into a brownish red mist.
And I still have it.
Yep, you have one action remaining.
Yeah. All right. See if I can do something fancy footwork here.
An 8, yeah, is critical failure.
Well, I lost balance.
Yep, you will lose your balance and fall prone
Why is the number not red?
because you didn't roll a natural 1.
Okay.
Trizhalyn, it's your turn.
It's my turn.
You gonna take us home, Trizzy?
Considering it hasn't
Sick
been
as
attacked
nothing.
yet, I don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna be. I have once. I have done that with that bear, but you know, we'll see.
We'll see.
He had an affinity though, so like he was like, oof.
He had an infinity.
He had a beautiful soul.
Okay, Jesse McCartney.
You're beautiful.
No, not
I'm
that.
gonna-
That's not what I was referencing.
You're beautiful. It's true.
That's James Blunt.
Yes.
I know, but I
I
still
want
like
to hear
it.
Jesse McCartney's version now of that.
I'm pretty sure I've heard Jesse McCartney do one. It's like, you're beautiful. I don't know.
No, that's James Blunt who sings "You're
Okay.
Beautiful."
No, Beautiful
Well, still
Soul
nice.
is what you're thinking. of.
Yeah, that's the song I was referencing.
Yeah.
The
I don't
Disney
want
Radio
another
Disney.
pretty face. I don't
yeah,
want
that's the
just
one.
Anyone to hold. Listen, okay, they're all beautiful.
Isn't that like his only song?
Sure.
He's more prolific as a voice actor in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Damn. Sarah,
Anyway.
Sarah be casting shit.
Anyway, please roll your attack.
I'm
honey.
attack, but like, god damn, Sarah. Sarah coming over here with the mean fucks. Man.
Well, I am unfortunately a Kingdom Hearts fan.
Okay, whatever. I'm gonna roll now. You guys.
Please. 30 is an overwhelming crit.
What the fuck?
Roll your damage, please.
I hope this time I do a little bit better on the damage.
Holy cow.
Oh shit!
16 doubled to 32. Well, it only had 30 hit points total.
You
so
just destroyed it.
you slice it up anime style into little cubes.
It's like that scene. It's like an anime scene where you just do all the slices and then they put the sword in, and it's like style.
3 sword
wasn't
style. 36 caliber phoenix.
And he just explodes.
Okay, yeah, and it just
they shouldn't
erupts
grab
into rotten meat, and you have ended this conflict. And you see in the distance, Ardax's soldiers are just now finishing up the other group. You completed this so quickly that you actually gain additional escape points. You get 2 points for finishing it, but an additional 2 for finishing it within 3 rounds.
Nice.
And you gain a reputation point for fighting these. You could have. The book actually has contingency for if you choose not to fight them and just let them go.
Oh, that was not an option.
Yeah, no. Okay. So, how we feeling? We want to push on, or do you want to stop here?
I'm a little eepy.
Yeah, I think this could be a good stopping point.
Okay.
The cliffhanger.
But the crits are happening.
The crits are
Put while you're
flowing.
ahead.
No, the crits are happening. Also, I haven't used my hero point yet.
Use it now.
Well,
Use it now. For what?
Romance me.
No.
Romance me. Come on.
Make a character that's
Seduce
worth
me.
romancing.
Do it.
Ooh.
I am a nice and sturdy orc.
Maybe
All
that's
right.
not what Trizhalyn's into.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm into. Listen,
You're
I
half orc.
literally play so
Is
many
this cutie
lesbians.
Duroc here?
Actually, I have you know that my character is actually my character is not only non-binary, but is also asexual.
Okay.
Dun,
I went for an
dun,
entirely
dun, dun.
pure-hearted baby child.
Trizhalyn's
time.
just living that bug life.
So should we refer to Trizhalyn as they or she?
Well, her pronouns are she, they.
So either?
Yeah.
Sometimes that means I'll accept one, but I'll judge you for using it, which
Yes, it does sometimes mean that.
No.
in that case, don't give people the option. Like,
No, I think it's because Trizhalyn likes the idea of, likes to present in both feminine and more...
like you can be feminine and non-binary.
Yeah, but I think it's at the end of the day, she doesn't mind being called she, but it's also, preferably they, but she is also acceptable, but will be upset, obviously, if you say he. Because, excuse me.
Okay, well,
Can I call you lizard?
That is
they
not
have
a
a
pronoun.
name.
Okay, can I
Liz.
call you folk?
Shut the fuck up.
Can you just use people's names for once?
Trizzy the Lizzy.
That's still more acceptable than both.
Okay, well, in that case, I guess we'll stop here for today, and we will pick up next time and finish up this chase. See what waits for you back at Torrent Moot.
Great session.
Heck yeah.
I want to say I had fun today. I do want to warn everybody that I am getting tattooed this week. So I'm going to say this. I shouldn't be as bad as I was after my last time I got tattooed right before we played. Because I'm getting tattooed Tuesday. So should be good by Saturday.
So for now, I just want to
Warn
say
everybody.
thank you to everyone who came out and watched live on Twitch. I want to say thank you to everyone watching in the future on YouTube or wherever this episode is posted. I want to thank my fellow co-stars here for playing this game and kicking ass and chewing bubblegum.
Hell yeah. And thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Hey, Mud.
Yeah. I want to thank Miles for coming up on the desk and getting in my face. And I want to
Tammy's
say,
appearance.
read my book or I'll come to your house and I will sit menacingly over your bed until you read my book. I will know.
Yeah, and I'm and I want to say in that same regards, I'm so excited to hear chapter 21 tonight, Sarah.
Yes, I've been working on the sequel and Abby has been hearing my progress so far.
Nice.
So
I'm really excited for the next chapter because I read what the next chapter is going to be about in your Discord post from yesterday, and I was like, shit.
shit.
And that's why I commented.
right.
I was like, must read.
Bye for now, everyone. Bye.
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 Ah.